Per, it's a significant night for the Arsenal Independent Supporters Association even, 25 years. What does it mean to the sort of players to have these sort of relationships with such sort of loyal supporters?
Yeah, I think it's the heart of Arsenal Football Club, to be here, and you see the history of those supporter clubs and what they stand for, and this cannot be forgotten, and it's really important for our football club to honour all the time when we can. So I enjoy those moments here, to hear a bit about them, but then also if they want me and I can share the story and I can be an advocate for Arsenal, but for the academy and young players, I think it's a tight knit, and therefore I'm really, really pleased to be here.
Yeah, is there a sort of a role that, when you talk to the young players, to make sure they're in touch with the fans and what it means to be an Arsenal person and an Arsenal player?
Yeah, I think everyone understands, within any kind of Arsenal pathway, that the fans play a major part and supporters are the heart of everything we do and the foundation. So you're pretty much there because the support that follows Arsenal is absolutely amazing. So everyone has got an understanding of that and will honour that.
You've been here at the club for 7 years as a player, 7 years running the academy. I mean, did you ever envisage when you, I think Tom quite cruelly called you a panic buy when Arsenal signed you, that it'd be such an adventure journey for you?
No, not really. Obviously, I'm really fortunate, to be in that position. But from day one, I've really tried to, give everything for this football club. And when you do that, you not only get clapped by the fans, regardless if you win or lose, but also you put yourself in a good position, And if people see that, they then think you can do a good job and follow the footsteps of many greats. So that is a responsibility I'm honoured to have.
In terms of satisfaction, talk about your role in that amazing 2017 FA Cup final. It wasn't your only FA Cup, and you won the World Cup. But now you probably watched the match against Tottenham the weekend. You're seeing so many of the players that have come through your academy, if not starting match, involved in that squad and doing so much for the first team, which is the ultimate aim of an academy.
Yeah. Our aim is to develop people for those occasions, right? To make a real impact in the first team, and the levels are higher, getting higher in terms of winning major trophies, Premier League, Champions League, but competing, right front and centre. But we need also the squad depth, and I think academy players, academy graduates playing a major part of that. This is part of the DNA of this football club, so we will keep going with that.
You were saying interesting, I found it, you're talking about how when you played for Germany they had a young squad together and it took 10 years until they actually reached the target.
Yeah.
I mean, can you equate that to club football as well?
It is sometimes that way, where you got to embrace the journey and you got to embrace those moments where it doesn't work for you and you're close to the top but you can't get over it. So I'm pretty much an advocate of embracing the journey, and you really need to make sure you leave it all there, and sometimes even if you feel like we can't get over the hump, then these are the moments you've got to take advantage of.
And if I could just ask you, it's amazing your relationship with Mikel, because you came at the same time at the end of that transfer window, and now you're running the club together and these players. How often, what's your relationship with him, and do you ever sort of look back and say, wow, how did we end up here together?
From the very first beginning, when we were together in a hotel and he kept driving me to training every day because I couldn't drive on the left-hand side. I have no experience here from those days between us. Then the fact that he was captain, I was vice captain. We did a lot of things together, whether it was talking to the team or preparing for a night out and testing the food. He was all around, getting the detail right, and to this day there's this trust in each other's qualities and work, so that never stops.
And is it right, you said, I don't know if you're joking, that he played a role in you getting your academy job under Arsene?
Yeah, I think so. I think when he left, he made Arsene aware of, there's someone else that could make a difference here in the future. And if you want to keep good people at the club, I think he put a word in for me.
It feels like, with what you're doing and this emphasis on creating good young people, strong gunners, is it you call
strong
it?
Young, yeah.
There's a strong future for the club with this, the growth of the academy. What What have Arsenal fans got to look forward to?
I think being authentic in the work that we do in the academy, and making sure that we have young people who are strong and resist the challenges that they face is crucially important in the world that we're living in, and making sure that they are robust and ready for any sort of challenge they face, whether that's on the football pitch or elsewhere being released. So that's a big responsibility. So what can people look for? Exactly that. What we're trying to do at the moment is making sure we honor the club with the DNA, playing style, what we're about as people, but also just representing the club in the right way.